Thank you. I think the underlying theme of your talk is that science today is being challenged. Rationality is being challenged by religion, by superstition, by misguided dogmatism. And also in these days of dwindling funds and dwindling student numbers in engineering and science, we're also seeing that things like this are being funded in oil barrel loads of money. What's the answer? How do we turn this back?
I wish that the answer was as simple as just simply lay out the facts and show people how obvious they are and how easy to understand they are. That's the policy that I have adopted throughout my entire career, through 9-10 books. It works for some people, but I'm afraid it's becoming increasingly clear that it does not work for people whose childhood indoctrination, imprinting one might almost call it, is sufficiently strong. The most dramatic illustration of this I know is a man called Kurt Wise, who's an American geologist who did a degree at the University of Chicago. He then did a doctorate at Harvard in geology under Steve Gould, no less. And he then became aware that the geology he was learning was, he became increasingly aware that it was incompatible with the religion of his childhood, which was fundamentalist Christianity. And he dramatically describes how he got a pair of scissors and a Bible, and he went right through the Bible from Genesis to Revelation, cutting out every verse that would have to go if he took science seriously. And it says at the end that having gone through this exercise, there was so little left of Scripture that it just fell apart. There was nothing left. And he said, that night, in great sorrow, I tossed into the flames, and you hope he's going to toss the Bible into the flames, but no, I tossed into the flames all my hopes and aspirations to be a scientist and a science teacher. He gave up science. And then he goes on to a sort of final peroration where he says in this article, if all the evidence in the universe demonstrated an old Earth, if all the evidence in the universe showed that the Earth is old, I would still be a young Earth creationist, because that is what Holy Scripture tells me. Now, I find myself powerless against that. I find myself despairing against somebody who can actually, after a Chicago, Harvard education in science, of the best possible kind in the world, can stand up and say, if all the evidence goes one way and Scripture goes the other, I'm going to go with Scripture. What chance have we got when the indoctrination, the imprinting of childhood, leaves a mind so wrecked as that?
Richard, that was absolutely wonderful.